What is going on, everybody? Welcome. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. I don't know. I don't know the fuck when you guys listen to this shit. I don't.
It's Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. We have a very special episode for you because we have two guests, really, quite frankly. One of them is here speaking to you right now, Manny Gutierrez. Yes. And according to his bio, let me just...
Let's read the bio verbatim.
Is a Mexican-American makeup artist, beauty expert, and pioneer in the makeup world for his commitment to blurring the lines of gender and cosmetics.
Blurring the lines like these pores.
And that's a bit of a play on words.
It sure is.
And also says here, frequently works with charitable organizations such as the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Love them.
The Human Rights Campaign, GLAAD, in the Los Angeles LGBT. Is it LGBTQ Center? Because it didn't have the Q.
Yeah, it's still. I think it's still called the LGBT Center.
Is it?
I know. I don't know if they added the Q yet.
Maybe not yet.
Well,
yeah, they're working on it.
Get
branding
on it. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
And I only read this. It also, you were Forbes 30 under 30. Founder and CEO of Lunar Beauty.
Yes.
Face of Maybelline.
I was the first face of Maybelline for a boy. First boy.
First male to be the face of Maybelline. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe
she's Manny.
Maybe he's Manny. Maybe he's
but more importantly than all of that, you are a big Bachelor fan.
Literally, the most important thing here on my resume is the Bachelor fanatic that I am.
You also know Jeff Goldblum, Mariah Carey, Kesha, and Shay Mitchell.
Oh my God, Kesha just DM'd me the other day. Yeah, now that you think about it. Yeah. She's like, hey, what's up?
But Manny, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my God, of course. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
We are looking forward to breaking down this episode of The Bachelorette with you, as well as talking to Joe.
Yes, I'm thrilled.
We agree. Was a delight.
He's truly just one of a kind, and devastation of him going home has hit home for me.
Yeah.
It's the devastation for me.
Like, I'm here for him. If he's looking for a nice little Cuban Italian girl, I'm here.
Absolutely. And I'm here for him if he just suddenly turns bisexual.
Yeah. Also works. We can share.
I just enjoyed talking to him.
Yeah. You're like, he's just a cool dude.
Before we get into the show, I would like, if you could, I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay, wow.
Quick makeup tip for those listening who might be interested.
Quick makeup tip.
A common thing that the average makeup user might use that you're like, no, girl or guy, don't do that.
Yeah.
What is it?
Let's see. What? You know what? A makeup tip that helps, like, because earlier you had said, like, oh, I have like dark circles, right?
Yeah.
You said that. So a really easy, quick tip for that is adding a color corrector to your under eye before you put concealer on, to kind of cancel out, with that peachy undertone, to cancel out the blue, because they're opposite in the color wheel. So
wait, so what was that again? Because I'm not good at being a girl. So
no. So there's these things called color correctors, and basically they help adjust the color that you're like you are essentially. So a peachy orange color counteracts blue directly in like the color spectrum. So if you ever have like really dark under eyes, you put some peachy color corrector first, and then concealer on top, and then the blue is gone.
Okay, that makes me so excited. I'll be going out to get it right away. Because someone actually said to me, like, oh, I love your eyeshadow. And I'm like, it's not eyeshadow. I just have dark circles. I was like, it's not brown eyeshadow.
It's a really
so embarrassing.
Smoky Tired.
It was called Smoky Tired.
I love that. It's like the new palette coming to Lunar Beauty, Smoky Tired.
I was so embarrassed.
That's so rude. I love it.
Thank you for sharing that wisdom.
Of course. I got you. Any wisdom I can give.
I'm going to CVS right now because I'm a husband.
Is there a promo code that may...
There's not a promo code. I wish Lunar Beauty had one, dang. But any peachy color corrector will do great. Orange, peachy.
All right. Well, on that note...
let's get into this. Let's get into it.
Manny, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
You are a legend in your field, but most importantly...
A Mexican American legend, if you will.
Manny Gutierrez is a Mexican American makeup artist. But most importantly, you are Bachelor super fan. Yes?
I am. I'm a stan. I'm definitely a stan.
How long
for
have you
sure.
been a fan?
Since Ari season. That's
Oh,
right. I've
so
watched
you're
since
pretty
then.
fresh.
It's a fresh stan. I've watched everything
What's a
since
stan?
then. It's like a stay forever fan.
Oh, that's that what it means.
Oh,
Stan. I'm staying forever. I love it. Yeah.
Stay forever fan.
Yeah.
But it isn't Stan spelled
STAN?
STAN?
Yeah. So it's like fan and staying forever combined. Stan.
I'm still miss fan.
it's like shipping the two words.
Yes, exactly.
I know enough about that to know what shipping is.
Shipping.
That's too complicated.
It's like when you put two names together, like
no, I get it.
Brangelina.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Stan. I'm a Stan.
Yeah. We're old.
So you just started being a fan.
Yes, I just started. I guess
You're relatively new. Yeah.
Is that new? I feel like that was like kind
I
of
guess
years
I don't know.
ago.
Maybe that just we've been around the block, I guess.
You've been through the ringer.
Are you enjoying this season?
It is a shocking season for sure. Like during Claire, it was something. It was something. It was honestly hard to watch sometimes, to be honest. I was going through it. There was moments where I had to like pause it and just compose myself and then keep watching. For reals.
Yeah,
Tayshia, it's calmer. It's calmer.
Yeah, it's definitely calmer. It's more digestible.
Oh, by far. Like there was moments like literally like when Claire, like in the pool scene with that one guy when she was like, he went in to kiss her, but then he like grabbed her and it was like such weird energy that I'm like, I can't do this.
I like to use food analogies often.
Is that so?
Claire season, like, and I also like to use Sour Patch Kids in my food analogy.
Okay.
Sour Patch Kids are great.
Uh-huh.
But watching Claire's season was like taking a bag of Sour Patch Kids and try to eat it, an entire bag in a single bite.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's too
Claire's
damn much.
great and dramatic. It was too much all at once, and like you started choking on the Sour Patch Kids, all while like crying on the sourness and the sugar. And then,
But you
know,
love Sour Patches.
But you love Sour Patch Kids
on its own.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and like we love the drama that
it's
Claire
just
brought. It was just
a lot.
It was all too much.
Every
and-
episode was packed with drama constantly. So I literally was like, I need a reprieve. I need some happiness here. I need some calm.
And Tayshia's like a very reliable scoop of ice cream.
Exactly.
She's just a scoop of ice cream. That's the best
stunning
way to say it.
A stunning.
And
Which
she's
like
a-
I love.
and she's
Great.
a, she's
love
a
ice
scoop
cream.
of ice cream in a cup, honey. She's not on a cone.
Just a cup. Yeah. Just a cup.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
But I don't know what it means. But after trying to like choke on an entire bag of Sour Patch Kids, we
scoop,
appreciate just the simplicity of some ice cream.
I love some ice cream
In a cup.
Yes.
Sometimes I miss being on the beach.
Sometimes
I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes if I miss anything, I miss paradise. So what I did when I got back is I would just drink Rum Haven. I would create that vibe with a little, cocktail fantasy.
Oh, that brings you back to the tropical.
It brought me back to the tropical
Mexico.
island. So I like to drink my rum as I do most of my spirits on the rocks. It's the best. It's delicious. The best thing about Rum Haven is that it's made with real coconut water. So if you want to combine two amazing things, delicious rum and wonderful, healthy coconut water, Rum Haven is the rum for you. Rum Haven believes that Mother Nature did it right the first time. That's why Rum Haven is crafted using real coconut water and no artificial preservatives or flavorings. The result is a refreshing taste that can be enjoyed over ice with a splash of club soda or in your favorite cocktail to help you sip into paradise. So to get your Rum Haven now, go to discover.rumhaven.com for the latest tips, recipes, and giveaways. I don't think we can overstate how important it is to be mindful of the things that we put in our body. I
agree.
Like a dirty dick. No, I mean, I would feel like I'm not.
I mean,
I don't.
do you?
If I were in your shoes,
Yes.
I wouldn't want any dirty dicks inside me.
I could say I would not like any dirty.
I
dicks
feel like
inside
that
me as
resonates with our audience.
It does resonate. I can't.
Is there anyone listening
Who would
who
raise
would
their
want,
hand?
who would raise their hand saying, would you want to put a dirty
Please.
dick inside any part of you?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that.
I
answer
feel
is
like
no.
a unanimous no.
Yeah.
So why would you put dirty vitamins in your body?
Or dirty anything in your
Dirty
body.
anything. Well, ritual. Ritual is the vitamins for you, because there is no dirty dick in any of their vitamins. The best part, literally and figuratively. Ritual is formulated with key nutrients, including vitamin D3 to help fill the gaps in your diet. Their fresh tasting, delayed release capsules are digested to dissolve later in less sensitive areas of your stomach, so you can take them with or without food. But the best part about Ritual is you know exactly what is in those vitamins. No sugars, no GMOs, synthetic fillers, artificial colorants, none of that. Not to mention animal byproducts like sheep's wool and what?
It's just gross.
Yeah.
I'm having a reaction to that. Byproducts like sheep's wool and gelatin from hooves and hides that usually go into regular vitamins.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Regular vitamins are the dirty dick.
You're all taking vitamins where all this shit is in there, and you make no thought. You have no thoughts about it, but you're so worried about these dirty dicks.
Yeah.
Well, stop it. You deserve to know what's going in your multivitamin, and you deserve to not have a dirty dick go inside you. Yeah. You also deserve to know what's in your multivitamin. That's why Ritual is offering my listeners 10% off during your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/VIAL to start your ritual today. Certainly no sprinkles.
No sprinkles. There's no extra. It's not on a fun cone. It's just in a cup.
So this episode opens where? Remind me.
This episode opens with we're doing the second group date.
Yes.
And it's the song competition. So whoever wins the song competition gets the one-on-one.
Yeah. All right. The song competition. You can definitely tell that. I mean, it's tough. COVID world. They're running out of date ideas.
Oh, for sure. I would have fainted if that was
like,
for me.
It's so bad.
I would have died. What should we do?
We can't travel anywhere. What are we
next
do?
week we can play shoots and ladders.
They're definitely
the floor is lava.
They're definitely running out of shit to come up with.
The floor is lava.
I was like, girl,
honestly,
we are really reaching.
That would have blown my mind if they had make a lava floor challenge. Obstacle course.
Oh my God, you're so lucky you traveled.
No, I mean, I feel for this is the first time doing this. They're stuck on a resort.
Next week they're going to be painting fruit in the hotel rooms or something. God. You watch.
Yeah, but they're literally just like, fuck, man. Let's just
import some snow into the snowman building.
How fast can you count to 10? Yeah. Typing words per minute. Yeah.
Literally, it's rough in these streets for real.
It's rough. This music was.
But that really not so much this date, but that was really more emphasized on the obstacle course date.
Yes.
Right? That's
like the baby one?
Yeah.
Where Ed had to hold the baby for a while.
Well, when Becca and Sydney showed up.
The Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare, sorry. Obstacle course, Truth or Dare. It was like, okay,
they are really trying.
Yeah, well, what are you guys supposed to do? I mean, I don't fault producers for it. But it's like they're stuck.
It's a struggle, honey.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Big Brother producers can get it together, like somebody
in just the house, they can do it.
That's not fair. It's a totally different show.
True, but they come up with some really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, this is.
And Bachelor got a big old budget. Don't even try to play me.
It's not about budget. It's about COVID.
That's true.
It's about
that's true.
That's very true.
Only a certain amount. They brought Becca and Sydney in, but that's two people and willingness, and there's a lot more. I'm assuming a lot more hurdles they have to jump through to make these dates work. So they're just working with what they have.
Yeah, I hope the property that they have for Matt James allows them to do a lot more stuff.
But also, it's fine because it's all the same shit.
But do you want to watch a whole nother season of the same kind of boring dates?
What group dates, when they were traveling, do you remember being like, oh, wow, thank God they were traveling because we got to watch this? It's all, I mean, I pretended to be a mime in France on Andy's season. Was that special? It
was special for
It just
you.
looked pretty and looked cool.
It was more visual.
It was just so
from an audience standpoint, you're like, oh, they're in France, they're being mimes because
exactly.
Or when we were on Caitlin's season, when we were in San Antonio, we dressed up as a mariachi band and had to write our songs. It was similar to this. It's just the visual aspect of doing this stuff. But anyways, back to the songwriting.
Do the songwriting.
Listen,
Bennett was excited because he says he spit flow in high school, which was
Did
like
he?
my favorite.
Bennett would be the
sentence of
one that
entire
would
thing.
be splitting flow.
Spitting
Spitting flow.
He said he spit flow in high school.
Bennett has really disappointed me.
Yeah.
The past couple episodes. What are your thoughts?
No, there's something about Bennett that I love him, but then there's also moments where I'm like, you get too much airtime, buddy.
Here's the thing about Janet. I figured out Bennett,
Okay.
and I don't even know if Bennett's figured out Bennett.
Oh, okay.
And I say this with love. Bennett is a dork,
100%.
right?
I agree,
and that's fine. I say that
wholeheartedly.
charmingly. I just don't know if Bennett knows he's a dork. If Bennett knows he's a dork, then it's great because he's like leaning into his dorkiness and he knows some of this stuff. But I'm not so sure that he knows yet. And I think Bennett might like look in the mirror and go,
Dang,
like,
you fire.
and he, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I-
yeah.
I think-
He
I really
if he
think
looks
so.
in the mirror and thinks he's like the swab
Yes.
New York Harvard,
I think he thinks that.
then I kind of hate him because then
He
it's
thinks
like,
that.
then he's that type of guy who like constantly gets in here. And I don't know which one he is. I do know he is a dork.
Okay, do you know what makes me violent? Is I had saw he posted on Instagram the other day, and it was like a video of him just enjoying my saltwater bath or like whatever. And it was like he was like flexing his arm and he's like doing this and he's shirtless, just like his nipples are out, and he's like, yeah. And he
So
winked,
now
and he winked, and I literally almost died.
Do you think so? Now, if he's in on the joke, if he knows it's corny, it's funny.
Right, but I don't think he knows.
See, that's what I'm concerned about for him.
That's the thing.
I'm concerned. Like last week I was like, This week I was like, I don't think he knows he's a dork, but he is, and that's fine. Being a dork is great. It's in vogue, but I think he thinks he's like Tyler Cameron. and he's not.
Yes. There will never be another Tyler. I'm so sorry.
You know, that's my take on Bennett. So if you're listening, Bennett, it's okay. You're a dork.
We love you.
You're not.
We love the dork.
You're not suave. Like when he was we're jumping around, but when he was talking to Tayshia, I don't know if that was this date, and he was like, I felt like he proposed to Tayshia.
Yeah. Yes.
And it was just like I felt it, and I'm like, okay. But
I know exactly what you're talking about.
it was very charming in a very dorky way.
Yes.
But
Stay dorky.
yeah,
Like I like that.
I think he needs to
lean into the dorky
like that
roots.
he is a dork. And that's
And we stand.
And yeah, I like.
And we will stand if he's a dork.
Now Ivan is the someone who knows who he is. Like he on the writing song part. I suck at this. I'm complete out of my comfort zone. And he was just, you can just tell with Ivan. You've been able to tell this from the beginning that he
completely
knows
agree.
who he is. And I don't really know who that is, but he does.
Yeah.
And it comes out very,
Genuinely.
very authentic.
No, I completely agree. And I think the guys are always like, oh, well, he's like not the outspoken one. He's not going to do well on this date because he's so shy. And it's like, I think you guys are just hating that he gets his vibes.
My favorite part of all, like any Bachelor or Bachelorette season, and it happens more, I think, with the Bachelorette. It's when guys have their man chats and they sit down and basically recap all the ways two people in general might like each other or might not like each other. It's like, well, if he doesn't talk at all, she might send him home. And well, if he does, talk, then they might get together.
Yep.
And if he says something rude and offensive, they might not like each other. But if he does something charming, he'll stay. Like, okay, well, thanks for the update, guys.
They really spoon feed it on what's gonna happen.
Oh, I didn't know that, but thank you.
Yes. No, exactly.
Thank
It's
you
like,
for letting
he's
me.
not shy. I'm like, girl, it's just a one-on-one. Like, if he's gonna be his normal self, I'm sure. And he was, and I thought he did great on the date.
Ivan's awesome. And he when he told Tayshia, well, asked rather, when he asked Tayshia to come up, he did it in a very kind of it's a tough skill to be confident enough to talk about your insecurities, all while still showing confidence.
Totally.
Right? And that's exactly what Ivan did in that moment of, this makes me nervous. I'm out of my comfort zone. Why don't you come up here, girl? Right in front of him.
Yes.
And it was all very charming. And so he, he like his talked his song.
Yeah, it was more like spoken word,
which is fine.
which is great.
Yeah,
honestly,
it worked. It was just like,
worked.
this is like, hey, I can't. I don't. I'm gonna.
I can't do this.
I'm gonna do the best I can with what I got.
I would have done the same exact thing.
And I thought it was very charming. I
agree.
My heart was fluttering.
Yeah. It was jumping. My heart was jumping.
And then there wasn't I don't remember any. There was awkward performances. No one really. Everyone did fine.
Everyone did kind of fine.
Zach,
Yeah.
They didn't really spend too much time on it. That's why.
They did. Yeah, they kind of zoomed past it.
Yeah, you had Zach on. What do we had? Zach on a cajon. Oh, Kenny. Blake with the accordion. That was my.
I mean, that was shocking.
This is it's like I can't complain because they did this a lot with my season, but the fact that we're not ending with rose ceremonies, it's kind of confusing, especially from a recap standpoint, because the date opens up with a group date that Ivan's on.
Yeah.
Ivan gets a lot of attention.
Right.
Ivan then gets the next
one-on-one. Then it goes into a rose ceremony.
Then
it goes back to a first dating.
Very confusing.
Oh yeah.
I digress. Wow. So yeah, and then wait. So who got that group date rose? Zach.
Who got the group date rose
on the first date?
Oh, on the music date, no one got it because they were competing for the one-on-one.
Got it.
So Ivan just got.
Oh, that's what that was.
That's what that was. Yeah.
They were competing. So it was a group date that turned into a one-on-one.
That competed. It was a group date. Then they were like, okay, Ivan, you won. So now you're going to get a one-on-one.
Gotcha.
Date.
And then those two had a date.
Mm-hmm.
They played Twister.
In her room.
And jumped for lava.
And jumped lava flooring.
And ordered room service.
And had a pillow fight.
Yes.
And then they had a very serious conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They did have a very serious conversation.
They did.
I thought... I just made me like Ivan even more.
Me too.
He talked about his family, obviously.
He opened up a lot.
His brother.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, falls in line with the, everyone's got their story.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like how Ivan talked about. I just have always liked Ivan. They get they brought up Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. I loved how Ivan talked about it.
So did I.
I loved his willingness, his opening to talk about it. So Ivan, you like Ivan.
He's a contender. I feel like he's definitely a contender for her heart, for sure.
Ivan, I'm predicting is going to be top 4.
Ivan, I'm predicting is going to be heartbroken.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's not that young. He's 28, 20, so he's young.
Yeah, he's younger.
For the group.
Yeah. He's going to get
and
shattered.
he's younger than Tayshia, so there's like a power dynamic there other than her being, so I can see him falling hard for Tayshia.
Yeah, I think he's going to be hard.
I think he's going to be top 4. I think he makes it to hometowns and he's the first to go home.
Oh my God, what a prediction.
I feel like
wow.
I agree.
I think he'll be top 4 as well.
I really like him.
Sure.
I hope we get to if he doesn't end up with Tayshia, I hope we get to see him.
If not, he's going to be so popular in
Oh, for
Paradise.
sure. Oh, he has to make it to Paradise if he doesn't.
So popular in
Yes, he's
Paradise.
amazing. I love him. Sweet man.
Hey, we're staying home. We're working out. It's the holiday season. We want to keep that body right. We want to stay, energized and active. So get your Echelon now. Echelon offers the next generation of connected fitness bikes, fitness mirrors, rowing machines, and their new Echelon Stride Smart Treadmill. No matter what your favorite fitness activity is, Echelon gives you a fun and challenging workout from the comfort of your home. I have an Echelon bike, and their world-class instructors will motivate you with the thousands of daily live and on-demand studio-level classes, always available when you need them. I'm just competing with people all over the place.
That sounds
Unlike
like fun.
their competitors, Echelon is affordable to everyone. Yeah, they are. And one membership lets up to 5 family members all work out at the same time. Right now, you can try any Echelon fitness equipment at home for 30 days. Go to echelonfit.com/VIALL. That is ECHELON fit.com/VIALL. I don't know if you've seen my home tour video, but if you have, you know that I'm a huge advocate of Brook Linen. And I shit you not. Can I say shit while talking about linen? It doesn't matter because they do have the most insanely smart, softest sheets and comforters and duvet covers. Their hand towels are amazing. Their bath sheets are amazing. They even have a bunch of other products. But their loungewear... It's fucking unbelievable.
Oh, I saw you in it.
No, it's a different level of comfort on your body. And I've put on a lot of different comfortable, pants and other type of like laying around wear, but their loungewear, it is I've had,
on the inside and outside.
oh my God, it's amazing. And I've had, friends,
Yeah.
a friend come over and put on a sweatshirt. And even she was just like, oh my God, what is this? And I was like, yeah, it's Brooklinen. I can't say enough about it. Brooklinen was started by Rich and Vicky, who also tried to find beautiful home essentials that didn't cost an arm and a leg. And when they couldn't, they founded Brooklinen. And I thank them for it, because I tell you what, it's super affordable. And it you would spend a fraction what you would spend on what is considered luxury bedding. And I sleep very comfortably. And it's great. And I love it. And I can't say enough about Brooklinen. It's just fucking great.
You love it so much.
It's so good. They're oh my God. If you want, just get their loungewear, man. They do it for men and women. It's fantastic. Something about it is brilliant. Brooklyn's Black Friday sale goes through November 30th. So get huge savings, 20% off their biggest sale of the year, and free shipping during Brooklyn's biggest sale of the year. Go to brooklinen.com now and use promo code VIALL for 20% off your free shipping. BROOKLINEN.com and use promo code VIALL for 20% off your order plus free shipping. Brooklinen.com and use promo code VIALL at checkout. And if you are hearing this after November 30th, don't worry. You will still get 10% off your first order, plus free shipping, and brooklinen.com. It's so good, you should pay an extra 10%, but you're getting 10% off. They're that good. Their loungewear is amazing. If you don't, it's fucking so good. It's better than sex. No. Well, let's take a quick pause on the
recap.
The one-on-one with Ivan and Tayshia, because we have Joe calling in.
Oh my God.
To shed some light on all the guys.
I'm gonna scream.
And the rose ceremony and the drama and your boy.
And the devastation of him going home.
Yeah. So, Joe,
come on in.
It's really cool to be here. Thank you so much, Nick, for inviting me. I mean, this is weird. This probably shouldn't be a surprise to you, but I've never done a podcast before. And Manny, you've got great energy. So thank you so much for having me. Seriously, I wish I had your energy. Seriously, I wish we could trade places and you could do the interview for me.
Oh, that's so great.
Joe's still fresh off of being charming. Were you always this charming, Joe, or?
I just do it for the cameras, only for the cameras. In real life, I'm an asshole. Yeah.
Why did Tayshia send you home?
Honestly, foolish. That was a very foolish decision.
Like last night, you had your little hype. There was some Joe buzz after last week's episode.
Yeah.
Which, quite frankly, is the only reason why I'm just kidding. No, but you were someone that we enjoy watching, and so we had you on, and all of a sudden, Tayshia decided to send you home. Were you okay? Were you surprised? You were very gracious in your exit.
Yes.
Honestly, I can't say I was surprised. Sometimes you just get the feeling, and not only that, I mean, look at that room of guys. Look at those studs around the room. And I honestly, I'm surprised. I'm surprised it lasted as long as I did. And that is me being completely earnest. And to be honest, all my friends and family are said the same thing. They're like,
so wait.
Are you still on the show?
Joe, you're a catch. You're selling yourself short, Joe.
Really? So you mean to tell me you honestly were when Ed got that final rose, you're like, yep, that makes sense. Really?
There's no way.
To a man. And again, I caught wind of a little bit of a little tension between you. But
I'm not an Ed fan.
I've heard that, and I'm gonna say to a man in the house, you're gonna have other people on. Ask them as well if you're still interested. If this is still feeding, which I hope it isn't. But in any case, everyone loved Ed. I enjoy Ed a lot, and that's just one facet. You didn't see him at all before, and that's one facet of the man.
Well, let me ask you this, Joe, because my problem with Ed as a viewer isn't that he wasn't popular with the majority of the guys. It was clear that he was. It's just watching it back, and I'm sure you're seeing things that you didn't get to see before, conversations Ed's ITMs or conversations he's having with Tayshia and Claire. He just he was a bit of a tattletale, and he seemed to focus his energy on things that you would think are beneath adults, I guess you could say. And I'm just wondering, having watched it back, do you have any defense? Am I being too hard on Ed, despite him being popular in the house?
If I had my brother or my sister was going out with somebody, or was thinking about going out with somebody, and I was concerned that that person for some reason going out with them for their money, or going out for them for because for whatever reason, because they have a nice car, whatever it was, I would say something as well. And I think I can't fault the man for trying to protect the one, like in that, even during that time. So
are you saying that Jason is the opposite of Ed?
They are very different human beings, and that's the thing about this whole situation. You have two very different individuals.
Yeah.
And it's like, and we're forced to be together in this one space. And in real life, they would see each other, they would hang out, and then they would just go their separate ways. But in this scenario, you literally are forced to eat together and see each other and bump into each other over and over. And maybe like you have a roommate whose hat you don't like, and you're like, or you have somebody whose hat you don't like, and you see him once, you're like, this dumb hat, I don't care. But you see that hat, like the same hat for a week, and you're like, dude, why don't you just change your hat? And then after a month, you're like, God damn it, like just get rid of that hat. And that is
you're absolutely right. I totally get it. I've been there. You're right. And that was my problem with Ed, is that he decided to actually make the fact that his roommate had a hat he didn't like a thing, because what it seems like a guy who's just generally, Ed was that way about Noah this episode, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, my biggest problem in that world that you were a part of is when other men say things like, there's no way she's going to end up with this guy. They start making assumptions on the Bachelorette's choice, and like as if they know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if they're her, like Ed's acting like Tayshia's advisor, and Bennett. It's just like, and to me, it's just like, well, let them figure it out, and and if I'm watching, if I feel like anyone has zero shot at ending up with Tayshia, it would be Edward, like.
I also agree.
So I'm just like, what?
That's fair. Listen, again, everybody's going to have their opinion. And I think the ways we show love and the ways we show, some people will say, I love you. And some people will say, like, I'm trying to protect you. And again, there are a lot of ways people show love. I think maybe that was his way. Yeah. And I can't judge the man because, again, I'm not in his head. I'm not in his heart. So I'm leaving it at that.
Have you always been this sweet and endearing?
I know.
That's what
man, I whatever I am, honestly, I owe to my parents. They are the best people in the world. And I was emotional. Like I'm not sure if you see it, but I was emotional during the exit interview because I was so I was really Anyway, I owe it to them, and I appreciate you saying that. It's really nice of you to say that. But they're great people, and if that's rubbed off for me, then I'm grateful.
So going back to, since you're the first person I've had an opportunity to talk to about this experience in general, obviously you were there for the whole like Tayshia, Dale, Clare, I guess it's more Clare, Dale, Tayshia for going in order. But I mean, what was that like for you? I mean, did you, it seemed like from my perspective, other than like, unless you were, well, obviously Dale, and then you had Jason who had a one-on-one with Clare, and then you had, what's his name, beard Canadian,
Blake.
So if you weren't those three, like the rest of you guys were just kind of it was a waiting game.
It was limbo.
How confused were you in the first, like how in real time, like how many weeks of filming or how many days of filming were you there with Clare?
Real time, I think it was like about 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah. So like
about 14 days.
Enough of time. Yeah. So like, was it as confusing to you guys in the moment as it was us watching it in terms of like, did you feel it the whole time with Dale? Because, obviously when you watch it back, they're cramming it all into a few episodes. How did it feel like in real life?
this is what I'll say. I mean, you've seen Dale. I've seen Dale. Everyone's seen Dale. I fell in love with Dale the first time I saw him. I mean, like he's a gorgeous. He's a stud.
He's a good-looking
like,
guy.
No doubt about
Yeah.
it. Like, but really, and like, I mean, you saw snippets of his interviews, but like, he's got great presence too, by the way, and he's well spoken. So, I'm gonna say, like, obviously, from the jump, it was obvious that he was like favorite. Like she was giving a lot of attention to him, and it was obvious that she had an attraction towards him, and it was very obvious. I mean, it was very obvious, and so. And again, like I've said this in many interviews before, like during the show, I'm like, in earnest, like I'm trying to be honest here. Like I'm confident in myself. I like the person I am, and I think I have a lot to offer somebody. But on a first date, which is what this is. These interviews are. Like when you meet somebody on the rose ceremony, and then you see them on a group date, a first like 1.5 date. 99 out of 100 people are gonna pick Dale over me. If not 999 out of 1,000. That's just reality. Like that's just the facts. Like again, give me 20 days with somebody. Like learn them. Like learn about me. Like know the man. And I'm more confident. But on a first date, which is what that time frame was, myself as well as a bunch of these other guys, like are gonna lose. And
I'll give you 70-30 or 60-40, but definitely I won't give you 99
I
out
will
of
not give you
100.
that.
Yeah, me neither.
You're selling yourself a bit short. You're a handsome guy. You're a doctor.
Funny.
You know,
You played volleyball.
You're funny.
You played volleyball.
Yeah.
I played volleyball, so I love that.
All conference.
In high school or college?
In high school.
Nice.
But,
Same.
You know, not. But
I get what you're saying,
appreciate
and
that.
obviously you
Yeah.
have a real, genuine humility about you, which makes you charming. But and clearly Dale is a very good-looking, charming guy, 6'4", just beautiful eyes. We get the first impression that that Dale brings to the table. Were you getting because now they have Tayshia come in, right, and you guys. That's all great. But before that, you didn't know. So what was it going like when Claire was like not showing up for her group date or like getting all this Dale time? It's like, I get that you understood that why she was attracted to Dale. But at what point were you did you ever feel like this season was going to end in 2 weeks and it was just going to be over? Or what was going through your head as an individual, being in that kind of atmosphere that, as Chris mentioned, like never happened before?
Honestly, I've never watched the show before, so I didn't know it never happened before. So I thought anything was technically possible, but none of us thought, it's gonna. I don't think anyone really thought it was gonna end. Okay. We were just thinking, I mean, he's a front runner, but the race is long, and so especially like a Jason and a Blake, And also, not for nothing, a group of really good-looking, confident dudes for a reason. And so, no one thought it was going to be over. So when the announcement was made, it was still like, really? And it was like a pin drop. It was like silence, and then we went through the stages of grief. It was like I don't forget the exact order, but it was like some people were angry. Some people were like, we're scared, and so whatever. I forget the exact stages, but then eventually came to acceptance, and we're like, oh, like Claire, like we appreciate the fact that you told us, we came here for a woman, someone who's mature, and you coming out and standing in front of us and telling us this, we respect that, and it was strong for you to do that. It was strong for you to end the season and like ruffle all these feathers, and there's like everything around you is built towards this season for you, and for you to just squash that, like. That's hard for her. Like that was such a huge weight that she had to. And also not for nothing. If she felt that way, like what if you knew you loved somebody or you really felt strongly about somebody, and then you had to keep going along with like holding other people's hands and like maybe trying to kiss them or them kissing you, and like I almost respect it. She felt what she like she didn't want to like keep like. Going against Dale, like cheating on Dale almost. And I know it's crazy. It's 14 days,
no,
but still,
it's not crazy.
She feels how she feels. So it's kind of like that's how she felt. I respect her for not continuing the ruse and also like potentially not hurting him. I think he understands this with the game we're playing. Everyone's just hitting on like each other's girlfriend, whatever. But at the same time, like it's out of respect to him that she ended it. So, and I respect that.
Gotcha. And then Tayshia shows up. You guys are generally seemed all excited about that. Did you?
I mean,
so
yeah. I mean, she's. There's no denying it. Like she has a radiance about her that I mean, outside of the physical
smoke
beauty.
show you're looking for, Joe?
Smoke show.
Smoke show. Oh, that's a good word. That's been thrown around a little bit this past couple of weeks. Yeah, she was a smoke show, if I may quote Jason. But she definitely has this radiance and a presence about her. And it's not just the fact that she's like physically gorgeous, which that's obvious, but like she also has this kind of like humility and openness about her that is so attractive in a human, like any human, let alone somebody who's like that physically attractive, which as a human, she's got really great presence and aura. And that was obvious from the day one. And this is not because on the show, not whatever. Like, I just think like if I met her in real life, I'll feel the same way. I was like, whoa, like who is that? You know? And we all felt it.
Awesome. What was I going to ask you?
I love it.
I love Joe.
Tayshia.
So just again, going through the list of some of your other cast mates.
Yeah.
How did you feel when they brought on the new guys, the 4 new guys?
The new guys. I mean,
they came in hot, you know, Noah and Spencer specifically.
Yep.
It was tough because we were very, I mean, like this core, we called ourselves the Sweet 16. Like we were like, 16th, yeah, whatever,
Classic.
guys, this is classic.
You guys, it's a very, from my point of view, this is a very bro-y season. I was on a bro-y season on Andy's season. It was, some seasons are more bro-ier than others. And I don't think it's generally your guys' fault because you had this unique experience of almost kind of bonding together because like Clare and Dale.
This is what I was going to say. I think this season is unique in that sense where it's like Dale obviously like had the crown from day one and everyone else was like, there was a shared person that you're going after kind of. And so there's that commonality kind of like, there's no, everyone else was in the same position except that one person. And that one person honestly had a tough time probably in the house because of that, through no fault of his own, just because he was like in the lead. And then we have some time before Tayshia comes. And so, yeah, we bonded a lot. And so definitely I could see what you're saying. And obviously, like you said, there are reasons as to why that happened. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely like you got close with all these guys and for good reason. I mean, also not for nothing, like, a little older, a little more mature, a little more like self-aware, a little more confident. And I think there's I don't know past seasons, but I know they're much younger. But I do know as you get older, you have more life experience, you just become a realer person. You're just more comfortable in your own skin. I think that was a factor of it too. We could just all talk very plainly and that was nice. It was great.
Yeah. I think you could see it with I think a lot of people saw it with you. I think you see it some other people. I don't see that in Ed, but that's just me.
It's just your opinion.
It's just your opinion.
I don't. You talk about maturity and knowing who you are. I just feel like some of these actions you're seeing from Ed are not becoming of a mature adult who's comfortable in his own skin.
Yeah. Like you didn't do what he did, so you seem to be a mature person.
Again, I think everyone just has different ways of expressing it.
It's the love language for Joe.
It's a love language, man. It's also a love language.
So let's talk about Noah then, because I know it's you. Noah came in, and obviously this episode, and you nor I or Manny knows like what's next for Noah. Noah has kind of in previews has mentioned he's going to keep it going, and he may be the.
I don't want to be the villain of the season,
but you were the one kind of sitting down with him in this episode. I know you haven't seen it yet, but Noah was kind of talking to you in like a man chat, right? And you were this kind of the sage listener about like what was going on. Were you not? You had some time alone with Noah talking, yeah?
I did. Obviously the camera, Nick, better than anyone. The camera catches 0.5% of what goes on,
sure.
Right? I mean, so in the house, I talked to Noah, not for nothing, he's a nurse, I'm a physician. He worked in ICUs during COVID. I worked in a hospital that was hit very hard with COVID. We shared some war stories together, and we have appreciation and our mutual respect. Just being healthcare workers, and not for nothing, especially in this crazy time on the front lines. We had some stories to share, and he travels a lot, and I love traveling as well. So we bonded over that off camera. It's hard to be the new guy. Again, that's what I was saying before. Like, we had 16 guys who came in real strong, and it's hard to break in and try to make your way when everyone knows each other. Same thing for Spencer. He came in hot, and you're trying to make your mark. As men with a lot of alpha men are, which everyone on the show has some level of alpha, to them, and you want to make your mark and you want to make your presence known, and especially when you're winning, trying to win the heart of a woman. And especially when there's 6 million people watching or whatever. So it's like, you're trying to make your mark, right? And so it was a tough situation for them. And I think he did the best that he could. And he's also he's brash. He's relatively young. He's just grabbing life by the horns and just riding, And
I'm a Noah fan.
You are a Noah fan.
I'm not. I'm more inclined to defend Noah than criticize Noah because I think it's hysterical on a dating show that some people historically will be criticized for trying to date. Right. And especially as Joe has pointed out, it's a broy group. They've connected through this kind of mutual they're not Dale experience.
Totally.
Right. And then the new guy comes in and him and Spencer and they go for it and they feel like the outsider because they're not part of the Sweet 16 as Joe mentioned. And that's what Noah was trying to convey in the episode. It's just is Noah going about it the right way? Maybe not. Right. Is he
who's to say?
Is he Noah doesn't seem to be going out of his way to not ruffle their feathers. Right. Does he have to? Is it fair to Noah that does he have to show it and be like, I know you guys have been here for 2 more weeks. I know I'm new, but I know this is your territory. Noah is basically like, what? I don't have to do that.
Right. He's here.
He's there. And so do I think he's doing anything wrong? No. Is he bringing some heat on himself a little bit? But I do think the other guys are more guilty of being cliquey and being, a little bit of.
I mean, he jumped the fence first quickly.
Yeah. So I think that's the perception. So I'm more inclined to defend Noah than criticize him at this point, knowing what we know so far.
Do you think? Do you think that it's like guys are deferential to each other, so they're not as aggressive? Do you think that's kind of people are pulling their punches a little bit because we've had this shared experience?
Say that one more time.
Do you think we're being deferential to each other, like the Sweet 16, and you think we're kind of pulling punches, being less aggressive toward each other because we know each other so well?
In my experience in that world, they're usually it's. I think so. I've I equate it to high school very often. That environment, as I'm sure you've just experienced, it's kind of makes you go back to those kind of plays on your insecurities, your kind of primal instincts, if you will, and it becomes very territorial. And this particular, the Sweet 16, as you call it, it's a lot of being gentlemanly and things like that, and don't step on anyone's toes. And as long as you all play by these rules that don't exist that you guys have decided to talk about, then everything's fine. And you guys are. And it's not you when I say you guys, it happens every season, but you're treating it like it's the golf etiquette on a golf course. There's a way of doing things and there's not, and I'm just it's a dating show. And so when someone like a Noah comes in and says, you know what, I'm going to play through, I'm not going to wear a collared shirt on the golf course. Everyone's like, whoa, buddy. And he's just like,
I'm wearing a V-neck.
I'm going to, and so, and I think there's a little bit of favoritism towards the guys that are already comfortable with. And I think there's kind of a know your role mentality that the existing group makes the new people feel. That's my perception.
I think that is completely fair. And I would say, because I felt that way too, definitely. There's definitely once you know somebody, you're like, you're gonna step over my boy, don't do that, we love Ben, we love Easy, we love these guys, so it's why would it's not okay because that's our friend now, versus we're all starting in the same place, and we all know each other equally well. But to some level, my thought was, on some level, like, it's a dating show. It's a reality show, though, right? As real as a reality show is. But wouldn't you want to go out with a like? Wouldn't someone like that? And this may sound like a rhetorical question, but it's not, because I'm asking myself this because I'm not there anymore, obviously. But like, wouldn't you want to go out with somebody who is like, not like a gentleman, versus somebody who's like I'm gonna step over like that, like, you know, that guy on the street to get to you. Like, I will push over my buddy to get to you. Like, is that what you want? I'm not sure if that's what you want either. So that was, I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, great question. I just think it's a kind of a dangerous to like equate that environment to like a real world experience.
Right.
If,
and that's what I'm
if
saying.
Noah literally like showed up on a date and pushed, you know, Ben out of the way, then I would be like, that's rude, you know? But hopping the fence, you know, literally in an environment where Ed, you know, has a medical reason. Yeah.
The shoulder.
The shoulder. I will say, Joe, you're a very good friend, and I appreciate that about you. You're very willing to defend your friends. But yeah, I don't, again, especially, you know, it's like being a gentleman, like it's a more appropriate analogy to be like, well, if you had a girlfriend, like how gentlemanly should you be when your buddy wants to go out with your girlfriend? You know, because this is a reality TV show that is expected to end in an engagement in 6 weeks, in your guys' case, 9 weeks for non-COVID times. And so I've always taken the approach that there's being polite and then there is being earnest about actually showing up and trying to give any respective relationship a shot. And if you really want to give a relationship a shot, you have to decide where your energy is going to go, right? And so, like, to me, I look at a Noah and I say his energy is going towards Tayshia. And I look at an Ed and say his energy is going to people who are getting more time than him with Tayshia, right? Sure. And that, if I was just using those two as an example. And so, yeah, I mean, gentlemanly.
I just wanted a guy who would show up for me.
Oh, just somebody to show up. Just a person who can show up for me. Just want to show up and jump on pillows because there's lava on the floor.
But but you definitely seem like the type of person who, even in life, like you said, you sat down with Noah. Obviously, you had a connection being in the medical field. Was Noah? Do you feel like that was a unique conversation you had with Noah? Or, and like you said, like so much of what goes on, we don't get a chance to see each other. There's just not enough time. But did Noah get a chance to talk to other guys in the house, or was he really an outsider at that point in the season, from your perspective?
I think Noah's got, again, that youthful indiscretion about him, and I think, like you said, when you have a group of guys who've formed that bond. Yeah, it was a little bit jarring to see this guy just jump the fence and do all these things. And she asked, like Chris Harrison asked me to do it. So I put that on Noah 0%. I mean, like, good for him for doing that, like, for having the guts to do that. But I think he was from the get-go. He just had this brash energy about him, which I think if we started with him, we would love this guy. And that's the thing about it. Like, yeah, it's just one of those things where, you know, that's just the real world, where you're a new guy, and especially in amongst this hierarchical society, this society we lived in the Bachelorette world, it's kind of like, I think he definitely had a devil may care attitude, and from the very beginning, and honestly, I felt for him, because I'm like, listen, dude, you spend your time doing good. You are a good human, you know, and you like to have fun, and that's what you're doing right now. And you're also having fun trying to win the heart of, like, the girl you're going after. Like I can't blame you for that, and I don't blame you for that, and I understand it. And, you know, I'm not sure what you're referencing to exactly, which conversation, because I talked to him a lot.
They just showed one of your conversations. Okay, and it really wasn't. It was just you guys kind of talking. It wasn't really
okay.
But clearly, it just showed that you were talking to him, where like it was like you were the only. Like it seemed like you're the only one of the guys that talked to him.
I'm not gonna say that. I mean, people talk to him, but I think I was a sympathetic ear, and for the reasons I stated before. And again, I think it was not. I mean, like if you were to ask him, he would say like F it, like I was just doing me. But we're all people, like nobody wants to feel like they're the outsider. Like I don't care how how much how much testosterone, how alpha, how like confident you are. Like you always want to feel like you're accepted wherever you go. We all want acceptance. And so I think, unfairly, I think he was placed in that role. Like the other guys, Montel, Peter, and Spencer, all of them were like placed in a role where like you get relegated to the bottom, like relegated to like the leftovers. And obviously these guys are not okay with that, and they shouldn't be. And Noah was more open about it. And I understood that's where he was.
Yeah. What about Spencer? I mean, he came in hot as well. This particular episode, he
disappeared,
kind of flew under the radar. So maybe we'll see more of him. Maybe we won't. But it sounds like Noah came in hot, and he's gonna stay hot. Did Spencer? I mean, again, you left, so you know as much as we know at this point. But was there things that we just didn't get to see because of not enough airtime, or did Spencer kind of have that line and kind of settle in a more cruise control from what you saw while you were there?
Spencer came in real hot, dropped that. So which one of you, scared away Claire? Scared off Claire. That was pretty funny. Classic line, actually a classic line. Respect to Spencer. But he after after you get called lunch meat, I think you start reflecting. You really start thinking like, is that am I like, is that what people look at me like a piece of bologna? Am I just like a bore? Like, so I think he was just like, why? I'm like, he's also a charming guy, which you've seen and you will see. He got the first impression rose. That wasn't an accident. Like, he's a guy who came in hot, but is also, like you said, he's a bro. We were able to talk. Like, I remember after that date, after the date where he got that bloody lip and people were not happy with how he acted. We ate lunch the next day, or breakfast the next day, and I'd heard briefly about this, and I mean, listen, I wasn't there. I don't know the guy, so I just sat with him. I ate with him, and we just talked about, he's from San Diego. He loves surfing. I love surfing, so we bonded over that, and we had like a 2-hour conversation where we were just talking, and it wasn't like a measuring contest of any sort. Nobody was like. Everyone was we're just kicking it. And I was like, yeah, I think after a while he understood, that this was the energy that he was putting out. And maybe it wasn't exactly the energy he wanted to put out. And after that, he kind of was just like, let me listen a little bit more than just like pop off, which is what he was doing to start. And I think that's who he is in real life too, and so he just became more comfortable in that situation. I just think in part, and please disagree with me, but like when I'm not gonna just chalk it up to youth, because not just youth, but in part it's youth where you're like, let me make my mark. Like, let me show you who I am. And when you get a little older, you're just like, this is who I am. And like, take it or leave it a little bit. Like, I'm good, you hope you get there. But I just think Spencer was a little bit further along that line. Kind of like, all right, like I came in hot, I got some heat. And let me just take it all in for a sec and figure it out. So,
yeah, in general, I would totally agree with you. That hopefully that is the case with most people as they get older. They get to figure out who they are, and then some people don't, even though they do get older.
Who are we talking about?
No, not just Ed. I don't want to pick on just Ed.
Not just Ed.
How old's Bennett?
Oh yeah, Bennett.
Ben's also 36. Also, yeah,
Ben's 36.
No, Bennett,
I don't know. I don't know if Bennett knows who he is yet. I'm not. Honestly, when I first started watching the season, we were talking about this before you popped in, but yeah, I don't know if Bennett knows who he is. It's not clear as a viewer. Like it was so clear in the little bit that we got to see you. Like, here is this guy. Joe is like self-deprecating. Has got and he knows and he's confident. He's like he's fine. He's totally fine with who he is. And that read so clearly, just the limited airtime you got. And the more you watch Ben, you're like, does he know he's kind of a charming dork, or does he think he's Superman? You know, like it's not clear.
Like he thinks
whether
he's actually
Joe's like, I actually don't know.
And I think right now, correct me if I'm wrong, because you know him, I don't. I think he thinks he's Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
But he's actually a very charming dork.
Yeah. He's just a low budget Pierce Brosnan.
He's great value. Great value.
And if he realized that he was a charming dork, he would be very charming.
Yeah.
Charming, right. Bennett is, I obviously got close to Bennett, not for nothing. Like, we live close to each other. We're the same age. And Bennett has many faces and also many face masks, both. But he has
as do I.
As do we all. We all wear different masks, face masks, whatever. And he definitely has. I mean, I'll just put it plain. I just think whatever, obviously, The Bachelorette again shows you 0.5% of all the things that happened. The show does, and obviously, and it's like it's observer bias. Like, when you're being watched, I'm gonna put this as generally as I can. When you're being watched, you will ask different. If you're being studied, that's a classic bias in psychology or any study. Sure. When you are being watched, you will act differently. And some people that effect of that bias is greater or less. And maybe with him, it could be a little more, maybe. So that's what I'll say to that. But in life, Bennett is obviously, I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but Bennett went to Harvard. He's actually a very intelligent guy.
I never would have guessed.
About that.
I missed that.
Just a little fun fact. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely a guy who is smart and use that intelligence to his benefit as much as he could, but also super he gets people, and that's neither here nor there. A charming dork or Superman, whatever you want to call it, but he understands he understands people, and I think that served him well in life, and I think that's serving him well on on The Bachelorette and trying to win Tayshia's heart. So you can't take that away from him. He's doing great.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the stars of the season so far.
He understands people, but maybe not necessarily himself.
An empath.
It's not clear. It's not. I'm just saying it's not clear.
Can I say this though? What if we're playing checkers and he's playing chess? He's he knows exactly who he is, and he's just he's manipulating his version of you to of himself.
Maybe so,
to us.
But sometimes people make the mistake of trying to play chess when the game is checkers.
I need time to practice. That's Jesus. You just put the game down. You flipped it. You reversed it.
Friends with everyone.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But Bennett's been an interesting case study as a viewer to watch, just because he's got, as they would say, the layers. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Joe. How did you? Not how. I mean, you went to med school. I was about to ask, how did you become a doctor? And I was like,
no, I get asked that question a lot.
I went to fucking school. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. What inspired you to be a doctor? Maybe that's a more appropriate question.
Sure. Actually didn't always. I wasn't always on this track. I had actually did consulting for a few years before I realized I want to be a doctor, and I just think. Philosophically speaking, if I may dive a little deep, I know this is a show about The Bachelorette, but if I did dive a little deep, I think what makes humans human to some level is happiness. That is our ultimate goal in anything we do, right? It is to find happiness, and it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, or a podcast host or a sanitation engineer. It doesn't matter. Like if you whatever you do to find your happiness, whether it's fishing, surfing, whatever it is, like our ultimate goal will be to find happiness. I think, and that is the function that makes us human on some level. It's like fish don't look for happiness. They're trying to survive. Lions even, I think, it's a spectrum. I don't think it's like all or nothing, but mostly just try to survive. But it is our function as a human being, as a Homo sapien, to pursue happiness. And and without health, whatever that end is, to find happiness, without health, you can't even pursue it. Like the human condition we're not meant to suffer. And especially through health, if you're suffering, you can't even try to be happy. Now, whether you succeed or not to find happiness, that's your life. That's the struggle. That is what existence is like. That's what our existence is about, to some degree, right? We're all looking for it. But without health, you can't even begin that journey to look for it. And so, philosophically speaking, I think for me, and also obviously, I was interested in it, like in life and like in biology and all those things. But that coupled with this idea that, hey, like restoring someone's ability to be happy, whatever that may be, that is good. That is like a universal good. And I want to be good, so why not pursue that path? And I did.
It's great.
I'm done. I'm spent.
Your DMs are currently blowing up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely, as they should be.
No, yeah, but I think the best part, you're obviously a very.
Are we live right now? Wait,
no.
Are we live?
No. We're not. But as people listen to this, Joe, in their car, they're going to be having what
this is your sleepless in Seattle moment, Joe.
Yeah,
this is it.
So it's your sleepless in Seattle moment. You should know that reference. You're 36.
I love the movie, but
yeah.
What's that? What does the moment mean? What was the moment?
Well, when
Meg
Ryan's listening to Tom Hanks' son in the car,
yes.
and all these, I don't know if you know this about you wouldn't know this about my show, but it's a heavy woman audience, Joe. And
but how many people listen to this show? I thought you had like 12 people. Your family comprising of like half of those people.
It's mostly my family and a few uncles and aunts, but I do have sisters, Joe, and I just want you to know that they will be.
We're getting the fan mails
sliding.
coming in.
Yeah,
yes,
they will be sliding. What else was? Oh, how did you end up on the show? Did you audition? Yeah, I'm curious.
It's a good question. Actually, somebody from the show reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do it. And this was in the spring, in the height of the pandemic in New York, which obviously was the first place it really hit in the United States. And it was. Obviously, I was quarantined, so I'd go back to I would just be in my 450-foot like cell pretty much for the past couple of months. When I wasn't there, I'd be at the hospital taking care of a lot of patients, a lot of whom had COVID, and it was not something I would normally do. But I got this random message, and I thought, 2020, this is like that year where, like, not for nothing, like time is so precious. And I do want to find a wife. I do want to find love. And there was no dating around at that time. And I found out, Googled who it was. I looked up, information about Claire and I put that all together. And then I was like, you know what? Like, it's just an interview. Like the first episode is an interview. So I just rolled with it. And yeah, it rolled into me being on the show.
Awesome. There's been a lot of talk in Bachelor Nation about improving diversity. Obviously, Tayshia being the second woman of color lead, and then you have Matt James. But there also has been even more so a lack of Asian representation on the show. Is that something that you've been made aware of, or have you talked about? Like, I know, did you watch the show much prior to coming on?
No, I haven't watched it at all. I never watched it at all, and every time I probably like saw it, and then I would like just click through it as fast as I could.
So that was my question. Were you even made aware of just the lack of representation the Asian community had in that show? Because that's even they've had way more black people than people who have an Asian background.
I was not aware of it, and only after I came back, honestly, was it made aware to me. that there was a lack of Asian representation, and actually that's not true. On the show, some of the people there were like, hey, like, just by the way, like, there haven't been many Asian like people on the show, like, no pressure, but like, you're kind of the entirety of the race is on your shoulders, but no pressure. Like, you do think,
Oh my God.
You did
be you,
well.
but
You did a great job.
yeah,
did.
you served them well.
3 billion people are are relying on your representation to the world. But I did learn there, and in some weird way, there's this one there was somebody there, a handler there, who I really got close to, and there were tough times, as Nick, maybe better than anybody, like the long hours and the interviews and the odd sleep scheduling and just the whole rigmarole.
Sure, it's just
but
stressful.
It's stressful. It's like it's a psychological like test, more than like as much as anything else. But I used to tell one of these guys and who I was close with, I was like, man, when I'm like struggling or when it was tough, like, I don't know why it came to me, but there's this line in H to the Izzo call where Jay says, I do this for my culture. And there were a couple of moments where, it was late at night and I was like talking to my dude and I was like, it's tough right now, but man, I do this for my culture. And I was just like, that would give me a little bit of strength, just a little bit.
That's awesome.
Pushes
man.
you over the edge.
Yeah, just a little, just to give me a little bit, like, all right, man, suck it up, just a little bit, like, it's not, and also like, what are we doing right now? Like, this is a dream that we're living in. All we have to do is like exist and try to like, and we get to talk to this beautiful woman and hang out with like cool people in a desert. Like, it really was like a weird mirage. She's a desert like imagery.
Well, Joe, this has been a ton of fun getting to know you, and I know a lot of people listening are going to love you even more. I do have one final question before I do let you go, but if you get the bat signal for Paradise, will we see you on the beach, or is this it for Joe finding love on TV?
That's a good question. I'll say this. I think it's like moving, and I think it probably more apt analogy would be like having kids, where after I got back, I was like, man, I'm like, I loved it, but I'm glad to be back. But it was an amazing experience, and I would obviously do it again that first time if I could, because you learned so much. But and it's like moving where after you do it, you're like, oh man, I'm glad I'm in my new place, but I'll never do that again. Or having kids, we're like, man, like, again, just from people telling me like that was really hard, and I don't know if I could do that again. But then as time passes, you're like, okay, like it actually wasn't that bad, and I'm ready to do it again. But I really hope I'm not single by the time that thing rolls around. I hope I found something meaningful, to be honest with you.
Well, that's
so I can only judge
even
it.
more endearing. But it's also not that far. It's also not that far. It's not that far away. They'll start May, June. So you only have like 7 more months of being single.
Guys, I gotta go.
The search has to start.
Just say yes, Joe. It's a lot of fun. Between me and you and everyone listening, it's a totally different, little bit more fun experience. So if you happen to be single and someone doesn't sweep you off your feet and you get the opportunity, I would like to see you on the beach, as I'm sure everyone listening.
Nick, if there's anything that comes up, obviously, like, I appreciate you reaching out to me before, and you're definitely like the president. I don't know who's the president, who's the prime minister. You're Chris Harrison, but you're like,
I'm definitely not a buff Chris. I'll tell you that much. Don't even let Chris get wind of that.
Secretary of State.
Yes.
Chris, I'm so sorry. First, I hit on your girlfriend, and now I'm like.
Did you hit on Lauren?
There was this kind of love thing.
No, Lauren has well, if anyone hit on anyone first, Lauren hit on you. So. Yeah.
But I returned fire, and but anyway.
When the bat signal shines, you have to answer the call.
You're right. That's what
you have to.
And it's Lauren. I'm only human,
Yeah, I mean, she's a delightful person, and Chris is a very confident man. I'm sure he'll be fine. Joe,
definitely. Yeah. Sorry.
No, well, I'm happy to help you out anyway, but we hope to see you on the beach. We thank you for being so gracious with your time. Thank you for being a healthcare worker and on the front lines of COVID, obviously, more than anything. And it's been a delight watching you on this season, and we are saddened that Tayshia likes Ed better than you.
We're actually devastated by it, personally.
It actually really
Personally
hurts.
speaking, I'm devastated.
I was personally offended by it.
Yeah, it was a slap in my face for sure.
It's not okay.
Nick, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. It was super fun. Manny, it was nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you, Joe.
Thank you guys for having me, and I guess we'll see. And yeah, good luck to. I mean, I'm excited to see the rest of the season too. It's like a great group of guys. Tayshia's a great girl, and I'm excited to see what happens.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for your time, and best of luck with everything.
Thanks very much, Nick. Appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
Well, we're back.
We're back.
Well,
Shit, I
Joe
love
is
him.
everything we hoped he would be.
Joe is everything I hoped he would be,
And more. I would say
Yes.
and more for sure.
He's definitely
Why couldn't he
wrong
be-
about Ed. No,
said
Joe's
he's
a
wrong,
very
period.
sweet person, and obviously it sounds like Joe is great at seeing the good in everyone.
He
And
really is.
The world needs more people like that. But my criticism, again, of Ed is not that he's a good friend. I have no doubt in that. It's that, well, yeah.
I
It's-
not a
told
good
you a
contestant.
friend of mine said that Ed reminds her of like a booger that just can walk. It's terrible.
It's the when he
But
does
and
it's
that's
like-
not Ed's
the
fault.
traffic
That's
light.
not Ed's fault. But
it's
what
just
is
like
Ed's
everything's
fault?
Like, well,
I mentioned to Joe. I hate it when people on that show say things. Ed reminds me, and this is before you started watching, but on Caitlin's season, Joshua. Do you remember Joshua?
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know. I just have my guy tuition or whatever just tells me.
God.
It's just like, Ed is clearly projecting his own insecurities about whatever insecurities he has onto Chasen and now Noah.
Totally.
And again, well, Noah might be not going out of his way to avoid conflict. Like, especially after hearing Joe talk. Here you have Noah, a nurse on the front lines.
It
He's
made me
literally
like Noah
battling-
more.
He's made me literally
made me
battling
like Noah.
COVID. You think Noah has time for a bunch of, as Joe mentioned, adult males who are older than him?
Yeah.
Noah comes from a large family, right?
Yeah.
So Noah has like, I don't know where Noah falls in line, but he's certainly not intimidated by stressful situations. The guy's helping battling COVID. So it doesn't surprise me at all that Noah's just like, really,
I don't have
guys?
time
Like, whatever,
for your
fuck it, I'm
petty-
just gonna do it. Yeah.
Because it's pettiness, right? And,
I agree.
And Joe acknowledged in a very diplomatic way that there was definitely a group, the Sweet 16 as we now know. And that
What a
should
cute
happen.
name.
That happens every.
I died.
I mean, it's so funny, right? Like you hear you have Joe talking about like adult to maturity, right? And every season, we're whether it's 22-year-olds or mid-30 guys, every season, whether it's the Bachelor, Bachelorette, you have a group in that identify. They give their group a name.
Like the Rose Boys.
The Rose Boys.
That
There's-
Wells told us about the
Yeah.
Rose
Wow.
Boys.
You got the Sweet 16 on my season. Like Rachel and Corinne and Raven gave themselves a name. I forgot what it was. Like every fucking season, they resort
A
to like a
nickname.
very high school type of mentality. I know I said every time, but like I think it's hysterical.
I think it's really cute, actually, though. I think it's adorable. Like I like that they give themselves a little name. It gives me very much like nostalgic vibes, like high school nostalgia.
yeah. Well, like high school.
I mean, but also like literally like just like 35-year-olds acting like high schoolers. So there's
Well,
like, literally
that's-
that. It's like
that part's cute, but the
Yeah.
downside of that is you get the behavior that you see in like
Yep.
the Eds and these other guys who then, equate this like gentlemanly behavior as labeling Noah as the outsider,
Right.
or some sort of like, you have Bennett calling him a child.
yes, talking to a 14-year-old.
Oh, yeah, that whole thing.
I was shook. I was like, wow, Bennett's like out here.
Yeah.
Did you think that Bennett was justified, or did you find him to be a little dickish in that moment?
I thought he was a little dickish. I'm not gonna lie, but I was kind of like, but it's because like Noah. So I think that I'm a little bit biased because I think Noah's like really cool and I like him shaved. But
you have the hots for Noah.
that could also be the thing as well.
Oh, but you also
That
have
might
the
be the
hots for
thing.
Kenny, so I don't
True.
know how to feel about that situation.
True, I'm actually really
Be-
devastated about Kenny. So
Why?
that he went home. I'm devastated. I
Because
loved watching him.
We no longer get to see him not button his shirts.
Oh wait, and
Yes!
then,
Yes!
and then he's like, if he called her T one more time, I was gonna
Oh
punch
my God,
the
T.
T.
Did he call her T?
I
He was
forgot about
like-
when he says,
so
"Oh,
like,
T."
Even in all of his interviews, he's like, so T's got this, or when I'm gonna talk to T, or when I see T later, I found it
my God.
so annoying.
Or like when they were doing the.
but you love him, so
No,
you
I do.
have
I
to
love
defend
him.
him.
I have to defend him. I DM him sometimes.
You've DM'd Kenny?
I've absolutely DM'd Kenny 100%.
Has
Just
he
being like,
has
he has
he
responded, yes, in a very sweet, nice dude way. Even though I'm over here like professing my love, he's just like, "You're so sweet, dude. Thank you so much."
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'll never have a chance. But I just had to slide into the DMs. Like I had to. I could not.
I can't. He
Could
would
not.
call you M. He'd be like, "Thanks, M."
I would love that. I actually would. If he were to, even though the T thing is annoying, I'm like, but he called me M. I'm like, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For sure,
I can't with the
100%.
T thing.
Yeah.
So I'm devastated.
Kenny-
I was like
Kenny.
talking to T. I was like,
Kenny, I was just like, I mean, he just, the boy band manager, he was almost like a caricature of
Yeah,
himself.
he
Yeah,
personified
totally,
it.
Right?
totally.
And so it was like, and he never really had a connection with Claire or Tayshia,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
just kind of time to go. I was shocked by Chasen leaving.
I was too. I was shocked that she chose Ed to stay over Chasen, to be quite honest.
Well, I mean, that's just more Ed's serving a role, and
Yeah,
Ed's
he's
willingness
playing his
to
part.
literally complain about anything
Uh-huh.
is valuable at this
And
point in the
makes good
season.
TV.
Yeah.
But
It was quite the turn from last
that
week.
to me, that tells me
Yeah.
that Chasen, I mean, that Tayshia was just not into Chasen
I don't think she was. at
because, yeah,
all. He got booted.
She seems to
Four
like
guys
that
are gone.
more, like,
pretty boy.
dorky, the word. I don't know. But
Yeah,
also
like laid back, kind of
Someone
She
a little
likes-
bit more intelligent, someone a little bit more like
well spoken.
well-spoken, thought-provoked.
Yeah.
Like she seems to like somebody who's got
Have
a little
deep
bit more
conversations.
Yeah, nerdy in her.
Yeah, polished almost.
Polished.
Yeah, I feel like Tayshia's very polished. I think that she would want someone who's very polished as well.
So she seems to like that a little bit more.
Not smoke show.
Not smoke showing.
Yeah. So Chasen got to go, but back to the Noah. I feel like when watching it, it felt like Noah was getting a very similar edit that I got, which was like, ruffling feathers simply just by,
Doing what is supposed to
doing
be done.
Yeah, just by like not apologizing for just
Dating and
going for the
pursuing
girl.
someone?
And there was a moment where, there was a beat where they're all like at the table and it's right before the rose ceremony and Noah's wearing the rose and he's just like, and he's saying how having a rose makes him feel.
Yes, while he's wearing the rose.
Except that's such, it just like, he was clearly, I don't know who he was answering, but he was answering a question that, how does it feel to have a rose?
Totally.
Without question.
Totally.
He was simply answering a question. So
But then
that was
edited to
in
be
no
thrown
way,
in.
that was in no way Noah peacocking.
Right.
He was 100% answering a question, maybe even from one of the guys.
Totally.
Hey guy, it might have been Kenny. Could have been Kenny just being like, hey,
Yeah.
well, you have a rose. You must
What do
feel
you-
good.
what do you think?
And he was probably like, yeah, feels pretty good to have a rose. Then all of a sudden, all we hear is, well, guys, just so you know, I got a rose.
Just
Did
kind
the
of
producers
clipped and
ask
thrown in.
questions during this?
Everyone's asking questions.
Yeah,
part of the
producers
show.
were
But
When
like
you guys are all standing around like that, do the producers ask questions to people?
sometimes if there's not,
In the
like,
group?
you need people to talk and create a TV
Yeah.
show. But most of the time, it happens between the guys. The guys are constantly asking each
about
other
that. Yeah.
questions, But
or the producer probably
but
asked them to ask a
Noah was
question.
definitely responding to a
Somebody
question.
asking a question.
To somebody asking a question. He,
I mean,
he wasn't just randomly like, hey, before we start this night,
I have a rose.
I have something that I want to express my feelings about having this rose. Zero chance he wasn't answering a question. Another reason why I don't have a problem with Noah, because so then we have the situation where towards the end of the episode where
Right.
Noah
Talk to Tayshia.
talks to Tayshia. Right?
That part I was a little shook.
Now Noah has these like facial expressions that make you go, "You're a little fucker."
Yeah, yes. I cannot.
But I can't in that show judge anyone for a facial expression because
it's their face.
Not only that, but like they're just on your face 24/7, and we all make stupid faces.
Right.
So that a facial expression can and cannot, or may not be used out of context. So I hate to judge someone by a facial expression, but Noah seems to have one of those faces where Noah clearly doesn't mind drama, and that's fine. He is not afraid of it. He is not afraid of getting himself into some shit. He goes to Tayshia and he just says, "Hey," and it comes across a little strategic.
I feel like it was very strategic, to be honest. He had a rose, so I feel like if he was safe, like he was like, "Oh, I'm good," but let me just kind of throw the guys.
So did you have a problem with it?
I didn't really have a problem with it. I was just kind of like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he's doing this." I was a
He
little
didn't
shook.
throw any names under the bus.
Yeah, he didn't.
So
he could have.
I'm curious what people will say, because some people might criticize him for it. But I will say this: if Noah didn't do that, there is a 0% chance that Ed or one other guy wouldn't have come to Tayshia and said, "Just so you know, we don't think that Noah's here for the right reasons."
Noah did it first.
So Noah,
But I mean, he really like set Tayshia like off with that one. Like she really went like ballistic.
which I gotta say, it's not really Tayshia's fault. However, what a weird. I'm definitely in general over the double stand. There's a lot of double standards that we see in society between men and women, and on The Bachelor.
Because if a bachelor had walked in and scolded a bunch of women, it would have been.
But she yells at them like they're children.
Yeah.
Right.
And now, like, Tayshia's not the first Bachelorette to do that. It's become a thing.
Right.
Andy did that.
Hannah
Brown did that. With and again, that's part
Clare
of it.
did too, kind of.
Claire, Claire.
I mean,
But like, it's, to be honest, like it seemed more authentic. It seems more authentic to. This is not a criticism of anyone, but it seemed more authentic for Hannah Brown to do that because that seemed to be more in her nature, or even Claire. It doesn't seem like it's in Tayshia's nature, so it felt forced for Tayshia to be like yelling at the guys about, quite honestly, through no fault of her own, is something that was probably a fair criticism. To be like, I mean, listen, the roses, you don't need an insider's point of view to know, if you've watched the show, it's not a coincidence that multiple times in a season, often people who receive the rose at certain times is the person who will most irritate everyone else.
of course.
It happens every season. So do the math, right? And so Noah suggests something that there's probably some truth to it.
Right.
And Tayshia's response is to like get all mad and like, and you know, I don't fault Tayshia because she's a victim of a TV show at that moment, but it just read a bit insincere.
I do think that it's like, strange to get upset about like that, where it's like, oh, well, they're challenging my, like me being truthful. And it's like, but that's like, and like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like not.
I would have loved to have seen Tayshia go, and
Yeah.
like it's like at the end of the day,
I would have become the biggest Tayshia stan at that point if she would have just looked at.
Okay. And
Okay.
It's her show.
Oh,
like,
it's so
she
great.
doesn't have to like answer it.
Yeah.
Like really. Anyone.
Sometimes I give people roses because it's fun. I want to see
And
how
I
you
like
guys
it.
fucking react. Maybe I do. Maybe I am trying to create tension because you know what I want to replicate? I want to create and represent strong, stressful environments because you know what is so telling about any relationship? It's not how well you get along. It's what you do when it's stressful. How do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with pressure?
Resolutions.
Good way to twist it.
That's what
Could
I
you
would
imagine?
tell the women on my
amazing.
season. And, you know, and because like Vanessa didn't get a group date rose, so like clearly roses are used for a variety of different reasons. And
Did Corinne get a group date rose?
she got a ton of group date roses,
look at
especially when it would
you.
just fire everyone up.
I live for it.
See?
And you know
Like,
what?
it's like,
There
it's
is
my show.
there is a sincerity. It's not just a TV show from my the producers might have their motives, but I had my motives too, and that was I want to see how you guys respond to not getting what you want whenever you want it. It is an imperfect environment, that world, right? it is a TV show that is asking real people to develop real relationships in that world, right? And I get why every person like Tayshia and Claire and myself at the time like go about it in all different ways, but that attempt at relationships is real, and you have very limited time and resources to try to get to know all the people there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would have loved to see Tayshia go and that would have been.
Is that an issue?
I
would have lit.
Not even blink and just ignore it. That would have been so good and it would have been so different. But instead, we got like it's the moment where the Bachelorette's supposed to yell at the guys like they're kids. I'm over it. I hope we don't see that anymore. And I don't fault Tayshia for that. Mm-hmm. I am over that because it's not a thing anymore. It's like now it's become almost a cliche of tell your sad story. You know,
I feel like it must also be
a personal preference of mine. People might disagree, but it's become anything that gets repeated every season becomes something that's now part of the show. Right. And it was cool when it felt authentic. Anywho, any final thoughts, Manny, before we let you go?
Honestly, I'm just excited to see the rest of the season, to be honest. I do miss some of the drama with Claire. I'm not going to lie, watching Tayshia's, but it is nice to indulge on a Sunday every once in a while.
Well, maybe we will.
And not Sour Patch Kids.
Maybe we will see some more drama. We needed this type of.
I needed the reprieve, though. I really did.
We needed it. Tayshia's been nice in that regard. Mm-hmm. We're finally getting a chance to even get to know the men. Think about it. This is only we didn't get to know any of these guys. It's a bummer. We got to know Joe more.
I know,
but we just got so overly consumed.
We just got to know Joe in an hour-long conversation over 3 episodes and episodes of everything going on.
I love Joe.
He's great. Mm-hmm. Manny, thanks so much for taking the time helping us do this breakdown and talk to Joe. Where can people find you? All the great things you're doing.
Find me on Manny MUA 733 on Instagram, YouTube, the full everything. Manny MUA.
How do we Manny
MUA.
Manny MUA.
Okay.
Manny Gutierrez.
If I'm going to listen to a podcast
and at Manny MUA.
There you go.
There we go. At Manny MUA 733.
I want people to be like subscribe.
Manny's got so many subscribers.
And for the people who aren't familiar with your work, because I know there are literally millions, what would be a benefit for them to subscribe?
Well, for me, I like to show off makeup. I like to teach people how to do makeup. I like to review makeup. So if you're interested in makeup or skincare, lifestyle stuff, I'm the go-to for that.
You're the guy.
I'm the dude. If it looks good on me as a dude, it's gonna look really good on you as a girl.
I mean, the go-to. Now I'm so embarrassed I'm not wearing makeup. Actually, I was thinking about putting makeup on before just to like get rid of these bags under my eyes. And then when he came in and sat down because he was so on time, I was like, I'm not putting my makeup on in front of this person because it would be bad.
You look great.
I mean,
I actually get that a lot. I get that all the time. People are like, I should put my makeup on around you, and I'm like,
and I was like,
no, please no.
I don't want to put it on wrong either.
I don't.
I'm so bad at being a girl.
I like Carl Lewis was on my season. I didn't meet Carl Lewis and ask him to race. Like, why would you don't go up to an expert and then challenge? Like, why would you?
But that's my own insecurity.
I know, but like, it seems odd that people were like, I should put makeup in front of you
all the time.
Why would you?
They think I'm judging like their appearance? I don't know.
I would never like ask an Olympian to race. Feel like why? What?
It's like trying to.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, but it's like trying to paint in front of a famous painter.
Yeah,
like,
you don't do it.
Exactly. That's why I didn't put makeup on, because I didn't want to do it wrong.
Oh my God. Hold on, Michelangelo. Let me show you. Look at my
Crayola set.
So that's exactly what it is with Manny. It's like I don't want to do it wrong because it's like he's the Michelangelo of the makeup.
Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed this bit of a mashup. We didn't want to pass up on the opportunity to interview Joe.
We couldn't.
But we still wanted to be able to recap this episode for you.
Fan.
So Manny, thank you so much for helping us through.
Thank you for having me.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Tune in tomorrow for
Lala Milan.
I love Lala. Very hysterical, very funny, wonderful entertainer.
I mean, she's magic.
She truly is.
Magic. So tune in tomorrow for some magic. And other than that, I guess we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Perfect.
Perfect. Bye.